Sige, ikaw
Hello, hello everyone. It's Dr. Vanessa. We're here for another Zoom session. As Dr. Vanessa, the goal of this Zoom meeting or session is to answer questions of Pinoy doctors like our guest today, Dr. Kent. Just a disclaimer, I am not a trained coach. I am not a trained mentor, but, having said that, I've been here in Australia for 18 years, and my pieces of advice would be based on my personal experience and my observation from other people. What I call myself is actually, yes, maybe I could call myself coach slash mentor, but all the advice that I would be giving is based on my personal advice and the lessons I've learned from other people, especially the people who I also interviewed. Also, the lessons from other doctors, Pinoy doctors who I've met along the way throughout my journey. And I've also helped a few already of Pinoy doctors. I call myself a super connector. I've connected people around and get which opened up opportunities for them to get a job in Australia, here in WA, or and become specialist doctors here. So I'm praying that this session will help you, will serve you, and shed some light for you. Okay, let's introduce Dr. Ken. Dr. Ken, who just connected with me yesterday. So I only have a brief background about you, Kent. Hello, good evening. I am
Hi, good
in
evening.
Perth. Good evening. I'm here in Perth, Western Australia, and you are in. Where are you?
I'm in the hospital. I'm in Cagayan de Oro City in the
Wonderful.
hospital that I work in.
We have the same time zone, so it's 7:56 there and
Yeah.
7:56 here too.
Okay.
Thank you for
Mhm.
connecting. I'm just curious.
Mm.
How did you find me?
Um, I found you on the Facebook group with um Filipino doctors for Australia. Doc
In and
Nikki
out, yeah, Doc
keeps
Nikki.
sharing and
Yeah,
posting your stuff, and then you post your stuff there also.
yeah.
So I've seen your posts, and then maybe in just the spur of the moment recently, I actually just reached out to ask some questions, and then here we are right now.
Oh, wonderful. So tell me about your background. You said to me that you finished med school and done medical boards, passed the AMC one,
Mm,
and then you did 1 year and something of ENT
mm.
training,
Yeah.
and then now you're
Mhm,
focusing
mhm,
on finding a job in Australia and doing moonlighting in
mhm.
ED, emergency.
Cagayan de
Is
Oro.
that correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, emergency right now.
Oh, wonderful. And
So
duty ngayon.
just,
So
time management.
you're so blessed to have people to cover for you tonight.
Yeah, thank God my co-resident is covering for me right now. The ER is a
Okay.
bit packed, but I wanted to make time because your input is very important for me.
Okay.
Anyway,
So
I'm
shoot
Dr.
your
Ken
questions.
Sirinia. I graduated 2017. Uh, I moonlighted at our local city hospital as a surgery emergency room resident. And then after 2 years of that, I went into ENT training. Um, that was 2020 to 2021, maybe a year and a half. And then while I was in COVID quarantine at that time, I maybe reassessed what I really wanted at the time. I was in quarantine for like 2 weeks.
Mm.
That was like, the previous protocol. So I was stuck in a room for 2 weeks, and then I thought about what should I do with my medical career. And then when I was researching, I saw that I could actually go to Australia. And then I decided to stop my ENT training and then opted to prepare for my AMC, MCQ, and then was doing moonlighting all throughout that time. And then luckily I passed, and then I passed my English test already. So I'm in this weird gray area of, okay, you have AMC, MCQ1 and English test. You can apply, but it's very hard. And then I'm weighing, should I take the clinicals or whatever? I'm just in this crossroads right now. I'm weighing my options on what I should do next. That's why I reached out. I reached out to a couple of doctors and some of my friends who are in Australia as well.
Mm-mm.
So that's about
So,
it.
where about are you now with trying to find a job? Nakapag-apply ka na ba sa marami? Na-applyan mo na ba silang lahat?
Yeah. Yeah. As much as I can, I try to apply to as many hospitals every day. Um,
Anong mga
I
tugot
ju-
sa'yo?
I I applied for during the big campaigns for Queensland and for
Okay.
New South Wales. I tried to apply to some Western Australian hospitals, but most of their essential requirements keep asking for, do you have 6 months experience in an Australian healthcare system, blah blah blah. So I haven't looked into a lot of hospitals in Western Australia,
Mhm.
but I do dream to settle there if I do get there. And then I I applied to some jobs in South Australia as well, but then they emailed me back about, there's so much influx of applicants right now. We're giving priority to people who are eligible for provisional
Mm.
registration.
Yeah.
So I kind of veered away from applying for jobs in South Australia. And then, uh, you know, applied for Tasmania as well, and then some Victoria hospitals. So it's more of like past 6 months of just been, throwing my applications to the world and hoping
Yeah.
for a response. And then
Okay.
I'm feeling like I'm feeling the wall, like I'm getting fatigued from just sending applications, hoping for favorable responses. And then that's why I kind of decided to take a pause and then think of maybe what can I do better?
Yeah.
If how do I improve my CV? And then what's another path I can take? Should I prepare already for the examinations or whatever? So I'm torn. Some doctors who I spoke to told me, bro, just sit tight, just wait till you get a job and then you just go through the WBA program. Because the one who I spoke to, like he went through AMC, he attempted AMC2 twice, and then that was his like main advice. You really can't predict how they grade you, etc., etc. So you don't know the difference between online or in person, those kinds of things
Mm.
by taking the exam. So um also I have a family already. My wife is here, she's a nurse, and then I have two kids, a toddler and like a newborn, like a month-old baby. So that weighs in on what my
Mm.
decision making is.
Okay.
So I'm just stuck. I don't know what
Okay.
I don't know yet what I want to do.
Sure.
That's why I reached out.
Okay. Thank you for reaching out and thank you for
Mm,
sharing your personal story and journey and
yeah.
obstacles. So, uh, congratulations. You have two beautiful babies or kids for sure, and that's the fun part.
Mm,
And then,
mhm,
before I answer, I already know your questions, so I know I will try to answer your questions. But
mhm,
my question for you, why? Why Australia? Why?
mhm.
Why not stay in the Philippines? Or why not
Okay.
pursue ENT? I just need to know your why so I
Mm,
know how to direct
yeah.
you.
Okay. Um, I really dreamed of becoming an ENT doctor. I
Mm.
even applied to unaccredited trainee ENT positions in the New South Wales
Yeah,
campaign.
yeah.
Some haven't responded to me, but um, when I was in COVID isolation at the time here in the
Mm.
Philippines, so it wasn't the best. So I kind of felt na, okay. So if this is how the health system works here, um, what's there for me, and if I continue here in the Philippines, I mean, there is a future. I mean, um, I have family members who are doctors as well. So, it's a pretty clear path if you just want to go through specialization. But then, um, because of COVID, and then uh, um, my dad passed before when I passed my board exams. So he was young; it was 54. So it really changed how I look at how to set up my timeline for my family and then spending time with them, et cetera, et cetera. Because it made me realize now, oh, I really need to go somewhere, or that's why I picked ENT because it's not as
Design.
toxic and you had a lot of free time and all of your surgeries are elective. So that's the whole thing that directed
Yeah.
how I wanted to pursue my medical career. I
Yeah.
wanted time with my family, time to travel with them and enjoy things because I don't know when I die, maybe I'll die at 50 and then, so I didn't want to be stuck, especially during COVID when our cases there weren't any OR cases.
Mm.
So there was I foresaw probable delays in me graduating my training. And then when I was timing it all up, I said, oh no, I'll be finished at like 36, 37, or 35, and then become a consultant at 36 or 37. And then I can start my life with my family and spend time with my kids and whatnot. So I kind of, because of that, I looked into other countries where I can be a doctor as well.
Mm.
So that was during my whole isolation period. Like for 2 weeks, I was just like researching like where I can go. And then I have a sister who's in America, but then when I looked into the USMLE process, it was so taxing. There are so many tests, and then the immigration stuff is really toxic. So
Yeah.
scratch that out. And then I think when I looked into Canada, you have to take the exam there, or you have to like do bridging courses. So it was between UK and Australia. And then when I saw that to take the PLAB, you have to fly to the UK to take it. And then when I saw Australia, oh, I can take it here in the Philippines. And then when I checked the lifestyle, I researched the places you can go, whatever. And I have some friends there as well. I don't have family in Australia. That's why people keep asking me, why Australia? You don't have family there. But then, I have some friends there, and then I've seen their posts, and then I mean, I love how laid back the people are. I mean, the whole lifestyle is really nice. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I can see like it's like a good place to raise kids. So, I mean, I have a toddler and a soon to be toddler, hopefully when I get there. So I think it'll be a really good experience for them to, experience that whole giant country that you're in. So, um,
So
that was it. It was
congratulations.
more of logistics.
Yeah, congratulations on dreaming big and dreaming big for you and your family. That's the first step. That's very important. That's the biggest why. Yeah, CV. CV, yes. When you applied when you open your account via AMC or what's that called? Epic or whatever. Ano ba yung steps na para sa
Yeah, epic.
AMC? Meron bang, is there any template for how to do your CV? Is there a template that you've
Mm.
used?
I just downloaded the CV from the campaigns, like the Queensland campaign and the New South Wales campaign, and then I just I filled it out based on what they asked of me, and then that's about it. I mean, when I passed the AMC MCQ, I said I was pretty confident. Okay, man, I have like 7 years of clinical experience. Of course, I hope they want me. I was a bit confident that maybe I'd get a call because I'm not like a. I mean, I've heard that it's pretty challenging for the fresh graduates who have very minimal clinical experience. So she said, "Oh, I have
So
six,
just
seven
to
years postgraduate
debunk
experience."
just
Mm-hmm.
debunk that
Mm-hmm.
theory or myth.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch the video interview of Dr. Ariana, she
Mm-hmm.
came here after internship and medical board, did the AMC one, got in a job, RMO job, just for AMC one with no post
Mm-hmm.
medical board
Graduate experience.
experience.
Mm.
She got
Yeah,
in. So yeah, so it's not impossible.
impossible.
So
Yeah.
impossible. So it's still
Mm,
possible.
mm,
I met a handful of freshly. board passer in Adelaide, and they passed their medical board exam, sat the exams, AMC one after 2 months of studying, and then um, applied for jobs, got a job offer in Adelaide, South Australia, and while they're waiting for them to start their job, they already sat their AMC2 exam. So when they got here in Australia, they were able to upskill their level from RMO to
Mhm,
registrar easily because they already have the AMC2 clinical. So
mhm, mhm.
tumutok lang sila. You know, they just focus
Yeah,
on
I understand.
that. So and then I've met and heard people, Filipino doctors, just getting a job just for having AMC1. So, for example, my interview with Dr. Edwin, which I also tagged you in the private
Mhm,
Facebook group.
mhm,
So,
mhm,
yeah, just AMC1. So maybe I think you need to review your CV. I will
mhm,
connect you to Dr. Ariana to guide you regarding your CV because that's most
mhm.
important. Number two,
Yeah.
with the selection criteria, when you apply for jobs, again,
Mhm,
importante na it's very important for you to champion your clinical skills, everything, not only your
mhm,
clinical skills, but your procedural skills, your leadership skills. If
mhm,
you became
mhm.
intern monitor or something, you led
Mm,
a
like that.
something in your year or in your whatever, or if you're
Mhm,
a
mhm,
president or whatever leadership you done, or if you're moonlighting now, are you teaching medical students or clerks,
mhm,
are
mhm.
you
Okay.
doing some teaching? Because that's very
Mm,
important. Teaching and research, very high marks for Australian employers.
okay.
So you
Yes,
really
I've
need
done a
to
lot of
dig
I've done
in.
a couple of teaching.
You really need to
So I
dig
have to mention
in.
that also in my CV or like in the selection criteria parts. I mean, like
If
when
you
I'm
can put it
answering
in your
to.
CV, especially if there is, I will connect you to Dr. Rihanna and she can give you
Mhm,
a draft. And maybe if I can find that draft, I will look for it. Let me just
for sure.
see if I've got something
Uh,
like that to send to you.
mhm,
You really
yeah.
need to highlight your research if you presented in research
Mm,
or presented in
mm,
clinical meetings, multidisciplinary team meetings. If you were
mhm,
first, second year ka during ENT or clerkship or internship,
mhm,
you're
yeah.
presenting to
Mhm.
in surgery department, or you need to highlight those things.
Okay. So
You are
I need to highlight those things. Okay.
so
Okay.
there's a lot of things that you need to highlight because I'm sure you've
Mhm,
done a lot that you've forgotten
mhm,
and then may
mhm,
have unconsciously omitted na it can make your CV very powerful and your skills really powerful,
yeah.
especially if you're
Okay.
in emergency. Now you need to highlight your clinical skills and yung mga procedures
Mhm,
mo, especially if there will be
mhm,
a pool for RMO and registrar job as emergency, especially in emergency,
mhm,
because you will be,
mm,
I think you'll be an asset to an emergency,
mhm.
position, whether it's
Depart.
RMO
Yeah.
or registrar.
Yeah.
Registrar
Okay,
here
that's why
are,
I felt like, okay, yeah, that's why I felt like, okay, oh, I've done a lot. I can list all my skills. I've done a lot of, I've done like just thoracotomies. I've done tracheostomies already. Like, I mean, they need this like type of skills in the ER, and then I still can't get any interviews. So that's why I reached out because maybe like what you said, maybe I just need to like maybe edit and fix my CV,
yes, you really need to
for
fix your CV.
whoever's gonna check.
Having said that, I just directed one recently. I told she's same thing. 6 months cannot get a job, or even more than 6 months cannot
Mhm,
get a job. She's
mhm,
even here
mhm,
cannot even get a job.
Yeah,
So
that's one of my follow-up questions. I was checking, is it a factor that I'm not there? Should I fly
no,
there and then apply for work?
it's not a factor because I told you Dr. Edwin was in
Mhm.
Singapore. There are people who are were in the Philippines. I already told you they just
Mhm.
recently passed the medical board exam
Mm.
and they got
Oh,
offered a
okay.
job. Number two, yes, it's very hard to find a job here because the pool,
Yes.
the recruitment is already finished. But having said
Yeah.
that, the no doesn't mean that you're not good enough. The no means the rejection means it's just redirection. It's not yet the time. Katulad nga sabi sa iyo
Mhm.
ng ibang tao, just wait. It's not yet the right
Mhm.
timing. You probably need
Mm.
you are still probably still needed there, or maybe there's real reason why not yet.
Yeah.
Maybe something better is brewing for you. The Lord or the universe is preparing you for
Yes.
something bigger for you and your family. So no
Mhm.
means it's good. Thank you, Lord. Okay, I'll focus now on my CV. I'll focus now on my selection criteria. I'll focus on connecting to
Mhm.
other people who already were there. Maybe you
Okay.
can reach out
Mhm.
to the chat groups. Maybe someone can help you with your CV, selection criteria, etc. to
Mhm.
review. So yes,
Yeah.
please feel free to do that. So yes, I heard recently that South Australia was literally open. There's a lot. But siguro dahil nga nagkaroon ng influx because your competitors are not only Filipino doctors, your competitors are
Yeah.
also people from here who are already here. IMGs means immigrant or migrant
Mhm.
doctors. IMGs who are
Mhm.
already here. IMGs who already passed the AMC 1 and 2. They are your
Mhm.
competitors. And plus, you
Mhm.
have competitors from overseas, especially from Commonwealth countries like the UK, India, Sri Lanka, Ireland. So you have so many
Mhm.
competitors. So
Mhm.
it's not about you. It's really very competitive and it's hard, but it's still possible to get a job because I've met people who got the job and they already
Mm, I
got the
understand.
job. And
Mhm.
I'll share it next time in another video that
Mhm.
I was able to connect someone to get an RMO job just yesterday. So I'm very,
Okay.
very grateful and very hair raising, so happy for her. That, yeah. So
Yes, thank you.
yes, so very happy. So don't know whether you know my background, whether you know my story.
I've seen parts of the videos. I've seen your credentials because it's there on your page and whatnot.
Yeah,
So I've seen the photos you posted, meeting other doctors, connecting the other
yeah.
Filipino doctors. So that's why I reached out.
Thank you. So I
Uh,
came here back in 2005 and I was also dreaming big for myself. I wanted something better. I was already I finished my residency um, at the medical city as a radiologist. But I thought I wanted to do more. It's not enough to be a doctor radiologist in the Philippines is financially not rewarding from my point of view. So I dreamed big and went
mm-hmm,
to Australia. And
hmm.
same year I met my Filipino husband. Same year we got married,
Hmm.
and I have no choice but to apply for specialist pathway. So I did not even think about standard pathway. I just went straight to specialist pathway because I'm already was a radiologist at that time.
Deployment already.
Yeah, so 6 years after that, I passed my exam, failed many times, passed my radiology exam, and then um, 10 years ago, 9 years ago, I acquired a business. I took over a 43-year-old business, so I'm just continuing its legacy. And so I am a specialist breast radiologist working full time. Also, mom, I was studying my exams and doing on calls like you, just duties
Mhm.
with a toddler and a baby or pregnant. I've gone through the same pathway,
Mm.
the
Yeah.
challenges of being a mom and a
Mm.
mom trying to pass the exam and just studying, studying, studying. I'm just grateful I have
Yeah.
my, my in-laws, my mom, it takes a village to where we are now. I'm grateful I have
Yeah.
my husband was very supportive. To become a
Mhm.
doctor in Australia, you need a very supportive family, and it may or may not be just your wife. You may need someone to bring with you when you're already here, especially if you're planning to do exams, study for exam or prepare
Yeah.
for exams. So,
I understand.
yes, so there is a wall, but the wall is not a wall. It's actually just opening up
Mhm.
other opportunities for you and giving you the
Mhm.
opportunity to reset, recalibrate. What do I need to do next?
Yeah.
How do I fix my CV? So you just need to
Mhm.
reach out. Yes, it can be so fatiguing, nakaka-fatigue talaga
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
to become a doctor in the Philippines. And
Mhm.
yes, it doesn't mean that when you come here you will not be fatigued. It's always personal choice. Life work balance always personal choice, especially when you're starting out, especially when you're studying for exam or trying to get qualifications. You will probably will not have the work life balance like what your perception is. You will still need to
Yeah.
study hard, but not only just
Uh,
study hard, you really need to prove yourself that you are worthy to
mhm.
be a doctor here
Yeah.
in Australia. So it's all
I
about
understand.
the your mindset. It's all about your inner work. It's all about how you reframe the challenges, because yes, it's hard to
Mhm.
be a doctor in Australia, but it can be very very rewarding. So 18
Yeah.
years later, I'm living a life that beyond my wildest dreams. So I'm living comfortably. When you get a job offer, actually, you will be earning more than enough here as a solo, was a family earner, or what do you call this?
Solo income household.
Yes, yes.
Solo
It
income
will be
household.
because when I came here in Australia, this is 2005 as a fellow. Fellow is
Mhm.
equivalent to PG5, I think, uh, of six, something like
Yeah.
that. I was
Mhm.
already that first year back in 2005. I was earning 80 to 90K per annum. Aussie dollars. So that's
Mhm.
already equivalent to what, more than
Mhm.
1 million, 2 million pesos in the Philippines. That's already above minimum
Yeah.
wage here in Australia. So we've got 10
Mhm.
minutes. If we get cut off, we
Yeah.
just go in. So, but
Yeah.
if you start as a RMO or even more registrar, you will be earning 100K per annum, but that is gross. So what is
Mhm.
gross and what is net? So we always compute that, no? But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you're in a first world country. You'll be living a comfortable life by the first 2 months of your life. Or
Mhm.
even as a start, you can buy your own car and pay rent. So it can
Yeah.
be expensive,
Yeah.
but you can afford that as a doctor.
Okay.
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 So I you
That's the
don't need
goal.
to worry about that. So the other people
Okay.
who I cannot guide you about work-based WBA. I cannot guide you. I don't know anything
Yeah.
about that. Just reach out to other people.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
the clear path for you uh, is to do your CV first. Do your AMC too if you can. Yes, it can be expensive to do these things.
Mhm.
Mindful na your English exam can expire, I don't know, 2 years ba or 6 months. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know whether you need to
Yeah.
retake. So you need to do that
Mhm.
research, and then once you while you're preparing for your AMC2, you need to also connect with other people for the exam preparation, because
Yeah.
you it's completely different. It's completely
Yeah.
different. Lahat ng management, it's all different. You need to reach out with them, join study groups, because I cannot guide you because I did not do AMC 1 and 2. I did the radiology
I
exam.
understand.
So
Yeah.
and then I don't know whether you can still. be an ENT here because I
Mm,
don't know any ENT specialists. But
mm.
in the Philippines, our pathway is and was linear. But in Australia, our pathway here can be multiple. Maraming branches yan. You have many pathways to become a doctor here, whether you want to go to the pathway of just being a RMO or registrar or service registrar or forever registrar, that's possible. You can do that. Because it's also challenging and not easy to get a special to get into a specialty program, whether it's radiology,
Mhm.
ENT, because majority of the major hospital, the training hospital, academic hospitals, they only have minimum of 8 to 10 slots per year to
Yeah,
get in. So
specialty training.
specialty training. So yes, it's okay to apply for an accredited training position if that is
Mm,
available, or you can start as a RMO, or you can start as an ED,
mm,
which is your line of work. I think you can start
mm.
an
Yeah.
ED registrar, but you
Mhm,
will need to wait for the recruitment again. And
mhm.
then I will try to connect you to other people. There may be some positions who it can be vacant because maybe hindi dumating yung recruitment nila, hindi dumating yung hindi qualified or whatever.
Yung
There
applicant
might be some, odd moments or miraculous positions that would appear,
appear.
randomly. It
Yeah.
may happen, and you might get, if
Mhm.
you know someone who's in this, and and you just ask, don't forget to ask. And then someone
You should
seems to be posting a lot in the job hunting chat groups anyway, right?
chat group. Yeah.
So just apply, and then yes, you need guidance with your CV. And again,
Yeah.
selection criteria, yung mga questions nila. And then
Yeah.
becoming a doctor in Australia doesn't have an age limit. So I do have friends who became GPs at the age of 50, and they're happy. If you're working as an RMO registrar, you will be living a comfortable life. You can afford to live to even travel because yeah, so you can.
It's
And
more than enough.
more than enough. And you will be working shift 10, I think minimum 10. I don't know whether you are allowed to work 12 hours, and then it will be, you know either 4 days on and then 2 days off.
Mm.
Depends on the hospital, but the day offs will be great because you can be present. You can be present for your family.
Mhm.
I'm working full time, but 4 days a week, 3 days is my me time. So I only,
Yeah.
I'm a radiologist. I own my business. So I have I have my own time. I can work myself
Mhm.
crazy. I can
And
work
then not
myself
work and then rest.
6 days if I want. I can work on weekends just to catch up, or not work at all. I can work overtime, or I can drop
Listen.
everything and be with my family and attend
Mhm.
the special school
Yeah.
activities.
Yeah.
I can do
Recitals
that.
and everything.
Exactly. So yeah, my kids are
Mm.
already turning 17 and 13. And yeah, I yes, first few years of their toddler baby life, I wasn't there because I was busy studying, but they will not
Mhm.
remember that. I can beat myself too much for not being present, but at the end of the day, I am now here, and I'm enjoying my life with them. So
Yeah.
and we are living
Mm.
extra comfort, comfy
Mm.
life,
Mm.
which is
Yeah,
that's
true,
why
true.
I'm
We like
doing
lots of
this.
time with each other.
That's why I'm doing this, because I like to show you that there is hope, that you can, yes, continue to
Yeah.
dream big,
Mhm.
because you
I
can
mean, I
do
expected it to be
anything.
hard kasi when I started work, I know it's gonna be hard. It's just
Okay,
for
but
6 months, a year, 2 years. But when I
yeah,
felt it na talaga na, oh my, it's been 6 months and still parang wala pa rin ba? So and then then the fatigue set in, and then that's why
Yeah,
I started like, okay, time out, and maybe we need to ask some people how
yeah.
they did things so that I can like, you know, have a better chance.
So let's just end for now and then go back
Mhm.
in. Okay? Kasi
Okay,
matatapos na yung
for
time.
sure.
Okay.
Okay, sige po, Tata.
Okay.